Namaste, Pranam, Gita Dhyanam. Om Parthaya Pratibodhitam Bhagavata Narayanena Swayam Vyasena Gratitam Purana Munina Madhye Mahabharatam Advaitam Ritavarshinim Bhagavatim Ashtadashadhyayinim Ambatva Manusandadhami Bhagavad Gite Bhavatveshinim. Oh Bhagavad Gita, with which Lord Narayana himself gave enlightenment to Partha. The ancient sage Vyasa included it in the Mahabharata. O goddess, showerer of the nectar like knowledge of non-dualism contained in your 18 chapters. O my affectionate mother, the destroyer of rebirth, I meditate upon thee. Krishna Vandana. Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kansachanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. Son of Vasudeva, the slayer of Kansa and Chanur, extreme delight for Mother Devaki. O Lord Krishna, the supreme teacher of the universe, my salutations to you. Srimad Bhagavad Gita, the 17th Adhyaya of Shraddha Traya Vibhaga Yoga, the yoga of the threefold Shraddha that Sri Krishna is teaching us about. That how we beings, having taken birth in this creation, we start working, we start performing our actions, performing our deeds, our karmas. And all these karmas that we are performing, all these actions that we are undertaking, they determine what is going to be our future course of action. That the action that we are doing today is going to determine what lies ahead for us on this journey of this Jivatman, which has come down from the Paramatman, and its struggle of going back towards the Paramatman. But during this particular phase that the Jivatman is away from the Paramatman, Jivatman has come down to experience this creation, to experience this, to have a wonderful experience of getting birth in this creation, and therefore we have taken bodies so as to experience what lies here in this world, what lies here in this creation. Our entire basic objective, instead of getting back to the Paramatman, then becomes enjoying this world, enjoying our surroundings. But do we really enjoy? Because with every experience we have in this birth, we get pleasure as well as pain. We get happiness as well as misery. We get joy as well as sorrow. So where is that ultimate delight that we are looking at? And based on that, we keep on doing something, this thing, that thing, and each doing of us determines where we are going to go next. And that builds our inherent nature. Whatever we do good, we become good. We remain mediocre. We do mediocre things, we remain mediocre. We do bad things, we go to the lowest level. And that's when Sri Krishna has taught us about the three gunas of sattva, rajas, tamas. And these three gunas, they determine our inherent nature. And our inherent nature, it produces, it begets, it gives rise to the respective type of Shraddha, the dedication, the faith, the earnestness that we are all possessing. If the inherent nature is sattva, filled with purity, then the Shraddha that one begets is sattvic of nature. Sattvic in nature. If our inherent nature is mediocre type, neither extremely pure nor extremely impure, it is in between, then the Shraddha that we beget under that, with that inherent nature, it is the Rajasic type of Shraddha. But if we are the lowest one, the most vile, the impurest, the wretched ones, then that inherent tendency forces us to take birth under those same circumstances Like what Sri Krishna told us in the Daivasura Sampad Vibhaga Yoga, in the distinction between the divinely oriented and the demonical oriented people, jivas, demonical oriented jivas. So these people who lead the impurest of lives, who lead the evilest lives, they in turn, they attain to that nature of being a tamasic in nature, being asuri in nature. And the Shraddha also accordingly, it begets into that form of tamasic Shraddha. Now Sri Krishna told us that with this kind of threefold differentiation, all the deeds that we keep on doing, they fall under the same category. Whether we are doing worship, whether we are doing giving gifts and alms, whether we are eating anything, everything is related to this threefold dimension of the inherent traits and the Shraddha that one begets. In the last shloka that we read, Sri Krishna told us about how the Rajasic type of people, he told about the Sattvika type of austerities that are performed, where the austerities are performed with full faith, full earnestness, full without expecting anything in return. That is the Sattvic type of Shraddha. Then the last shlok that we read about the Rajasic type of Shraddha, where there is an expectation. There is an expectation of getting honor, getting name and fame. There is an expectation of people worshipping me, for I have done such and such austerity. Satkar mana pūžārthaṃ tapo dambhena chaivayat. In order to attain to that, get that satkar, that praise from people, in order to get that mana from people, that reverence, that honor from people, and pūžārthaṃ, the people should respect me, people should revere me, people should put me on the pedestal of the Lord. With that objective, with that desire, whichever austerity is being performed, that is performed as it is, dambhena, tapaḥ dambhena chaivayat. That tapaḥ is filled with hypocrisy. That tapaḥ is filled with self-ostentation. Kriyate tadiha proktam rājasam chalamadhruvam. All such kind of activities which are performed for self-glorification, they are Rajasic nature. And these kind of austerities, Sri Krishna says, they are chalam. They are transitory. They don't have any permanence. They don't have any stability. And they are also adhruvam. They don't have any strong base. So that is the Rajasic type of tapas that Sri Krishna had told us. In the 19th slok that we are going to read today, Sri Krishna is going to tell about the tamasic type of austerity that people tend to perform with the tamasic inherent nature and with the tamasic Shraddha that begets. So Sri Krishna says, mūḍhagrāheṇātmano yatpīḍayā kriyate tapaḥ parasyotsādanārthaṃ va tattāmasamudāhṛtam. mūḍhagrāheṇātmano. mūḍhagrāheṇa, with out of foolish notion. mūḍhagrāheṇa, out of foolish notion about what? Atmanaha, about the self. A very foolish notion about self, absolutely wrong ideas about the self. They don't know anything because these people are already deluded. They don't have any clarity of thought, and therefore when they start keep on thinking about the self, they have got all wrong notions. What is this self? Who am I? And then they have got all those foolish notions about the self. So the yatpīḍayā kriyate tapaḥ. With this foolish notion about the self, yatpīḍayā kriyate tapaḥ. The austerity is performed. Tapaḥ kriyate yatpīḍayā, with the so much of torture so much of torture, so much of uneasiness. It is absolute torture performing those type of austerities. Parasyotsādanārthaṃ. Parasyotsādanārthaṃ. And that is, what is the objective of performing such self-torturing austerities? That is for purpose of destroying others. There is no intent of welfare of others. There is no intent for doing good to others, but rather I do something to torturing my body with the intention of doing some harm to others. There is no purity in my resolve. I don't have the pure intention. I don't have the pure objective for doing the austerity. My objective is I should bring harm to someone else. That other person who has done wrong to me, that is what my perception is. The person who has done wrong to me should meet with bad circumstances. And in order to bring that into effect, I start performing actions, even inflicting, torturing my body. So that is what happens. Parasyotsādanārthaṃ va tattāmasamudāhṛtam. That is tattāmasamudāhṛtam. That is declared as the tamasic type of austerity. Now Sri Krishna says this is absolutely foolish in nature. They don't know what the self is. They don't know who am I. They have foolish notions about the self which is residing inside. And what they feel, I am the only one. I don't care for others. If somebody has done anything wrong to me, that fellow must be punished. That fellow, if I am not happy with somebody, that person must come to harm. So with that intention, when I start performing austerities, inflicting torture to myself, that is the most foolish kind of austerity. And Sri Krishna says that kind of austerity is declared to be the tamasic type. Now on this particular torturing the self, Sri Krishna has already told us in the 6th shloka of this adhyaya also that karshayantah sharirastham mūḍhagrāheṇātmano chetasaha mam chaivantah sharirastham tan vidya sura nishchayat. Now this same kind of performing the austerities, inflicting injury to self, self-torture, that is, Sri Krishna has told, that is asuri type. That is the demonical type of austerity, and the same is the case when Sri Krishna explains here as the tamasic austerity. First of all, it is inflicting self-injury, inflicting self-torture, and entire intention is to bring harm to someone else. That is the only intention behind performing the austerity. It is not for good of me and good of others. It is not for ātmano mokṣārthaṃ jagadhitaya ca. No. Here in this tamasic type of austerity, the performer of the austerity has got no clue to the jagadhitaya, doesn't even have clue to ātmano mokṣārtha. So with that deluded concept, with that deluded thinking process, it is only torturing the body of the self, torturing this body, performing austerities with the intention, I am doing this. What is the objective? That fellow must get punished. That fellow must get the harm. That fellow must be punished. That fellow must be tortured. That fellow must be destroyed even for that matter. Parasyotsādanārthaṃ. Utsadanārthaṃ. That is, even if that fellow is destroyed, I wouldn't mind. I would be happy. In fact, this type of tamasic type of person will say. Now, among human beings, there are individuals resembling stones and blocks. There are some individuals which are, the purest of the pure nature. But there are some who are of the lowest stature, the stones and the blocks. Their intellectual development is yet incomplete. They don't have that sense. They don't have that sense of, I am the part of that Almighty. They don't have that sense of, I am a part of that Paramatman. Ideals in life are imperfectly understood by them. And since they don't have this notion, they don't have this idea, they don't have this clarity of their own true nature, that the Lord is dwelling in their hearts. They don't have that concept at all. So all their ideas, all their ideals are also absolutely imperfect. Such dullards also often take to practice of austerity without knowing its scope, and seeing someone else doing something and he has been benefited with some gain. These people think, okay, I will also start doing that kind of austerity. So what if I am torturing myself? Doesn't matter, I will torture myself, but my resolve is that person should be destroyed. My resolve is that person should be put down. They fast to the point of self-immolation, expose themselves to heat of sun and fire, and dip themselves in cold water to denumb their sense organs. All kind of foolish practices they will undertake just to inflict the torture on their own body with the intention of doing harm to someone else. Instead of outgrowing the body consciousness in Atma Bodha, instead of understanding the ultimate reality that this body is not the truth, this body is just ephemeral, this body is not going to stay forever. The ultimate immortal thing, the ultimate blissful thing is that Paramatman. That is not understood at all, and therefore they can never outgrow, they can never go beyond the concept of the body. For them, the body is each and everything. And they are body-centered. And in the process, since they are body-centered, they keep on torturing the body religiously. Let me inflict injury to myself, but I must bring harm to that person. That is their entire intent. Occasionally, they stumble upon some psychic power which they utilize for hurting, wrecking, and destroying others. So this is what their entire intention of performing the austerities, in order to get some kind of psychic power, some kind of unusual psychic power. Which can, psychic power, physical power, some kind of extraordinary power they want to gain out of such austerity, so that they can inflict injuries on others. What they have undergone, they will not bother about it then. They want to destroy others, they want to injure others, they want to just put down others, and therefore all these austerities. And Sri Krishna says, all these type of austerities which are performed without understanding the real nature of the self, with all those foolish notions about the self, that I am the one supreme, no Paramatman, no Parabrahman. Who is that? I will do whatever I want. I am going to perform this austerity in order to destroy that person whom I don't like. Now, Sri Krishna says such kind of austerities, they fall into the tamasic category. These are declared to be tamasic austerities, and it brings no good to anyone. It doesn't bring good to the performer, nor it brings good to any other beings. Whereas the sattvic type of austerities, they bring good to the one as well as bring good to the others. Sattvic type of austerities are atmano mokshartham jagadhitaya cha. Rajasic type are only for self-glorification. They may not have any intention of destroying or injuring others. But the Rajasic type, they only want me to be praised, me to be revered, me to be respected by others. And in the process, they perform those Rajasic type of activities. But the worst kind of austerities are the Tamasic type, which is not good to the self nor good for others. In fact, intended to bring bad to others. So that is the tamasic type of austerity Sri Krishna has taught us today. And with this, he has completed the threefold austerities as such that are performed by three types of people under the spell of the three types of Shraddha. That is about the austerity part Sri Krishna has covered in the last shloka of the tamasic type of austerity. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Sri Krishna Arpanamastu. Jai Sri Ramakrishna. Jai Thakur. Jai Ma. Jai Swamiji.